Howdy, and welcome back here to Bosnia as we are getting back to this series on one of the most amazing maps in FS22. I think this is in the top 3 for maps in FS22. If you're still in it playing FS22 and you are looking for a map or haven't checked it out, check this map out. It is amazing. It's from Celobuki, and yeah, I love it. But anyways, we are back here. It has been a couple of months. I've been having way too much fun in FS25, but I wanted to come back and finish the series because I love this map and I can't wait for it to come in FS25. It is coming eventually. But we're gonna start off here. We're gonna get into change our outfit, get out of the winter clothes, get more into the spring, summer clothes. And we're gonna get out here, do some field work, do some mowing, make some more silage because we have our goal here. And I want to finish up this series hitting our goal, which is we want to have a small farm here where we have all the food that we're growing, all the food that we need. As we were sitting here spending money, getting more fields to achieve that. We have to buy fields to achieve that goal. But we want to be able to have the animals, which is going to be sheep, cows, and pigs, and be able to grow all the crops that we need to feed the sheep, cows, and pigs. We already have everything we need for the sheep and cows, which is grass. We're good there. We got that. We have done that, but we're gonna need to get some fields for pig food because that is a little bit more complicated. So with that, let's get this fields here that we just purchased, get them all mowed up, and we're gonna do some planting as well when we're done with that. All right, we have got our worker going over there on the other field, getting them mowed up. Now we're not going to use our baler to build that field. What we're going to do is we're going to head into town and we're going to sell our baler and our wrapper, and we're going to buy another, the Mark Thor's amazing fast belt, because that thing is just so awesome, and it'll save us having, 2 pieces of equipment for one. And while we're there, we're going to notice there's the bigger JCB is on sale. So we're going to sell our JCB and get the bigger one, because why not? It's on sale. Just spend the money. But also while we're here, we're going to also need to get a new bell trailer, because ours only does square bells. And now we're going to need one for round bells. So yeah, we're going to be spending some money now. But it's all good. We need it. We need it to grow our farm. with the worker going on getting all of the grass baled up here, we're going to start picking up some of the round bales with our new round bale trailer. And then we're going to park this over here after I get all the bales off the headlands and make sure we don't have any bales get in the way of the worker. That's kind of a thing you have to worry about with workers. We're going to head over here and we're going to grab the other bale trailer, the old one for the square bales. We're going to take that into town and sell it and get a little bit of money back because we're all the way down to $44,000 and we need all the money we can get because we're going to keep spending money like crazy because we need to buy more land so we can eventually get pigs. Alright, so while we're here, let's spend some more money. We're going to get the planter. And by the planter, I mean one of the Kinsey multi-fruit planters that does the rolling and everything all in one. Again, we're not going to do the mulching because I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but when you do the mulching, it does sometimes mess up your field if you're not careful. So I only do the roller on these, but they are amazing planters. Absolutely love them. So with that, we got our seeds. We're gonna get some fertilizer and get it back up to the farm because we're gonna eventually do some more planting here as we get ready to get some different crops in preparation for getting pigs. Alright, with this, we are all done with the baling, which is awesome. So what I'm going to do is, like, right now we have to drive all the way around to get from here to over to the farmyard. So what I'm going to do is take out some of this fence here so we can just kind of drive through. Just have a little push through right there, which will save us time on getting from these fields back up to the farmyard. And time is money. Plus, I want to get from one point A to point B quicker as well, because it is a bit of a drive to go all the way around. Plus, the way those fences are lined up, it is a bit of a challenge. But with all of that, I think we'll go ahead and finish up here in just a moment. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure and hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't, because I'm going to have more videos coming out from this series, as well as our new comms series over on FS25. So be sure and check it out and have a wonderful day. Howdy, and welcome back here to episode 9 on Vlashich, Bosnia. We're going to start off with planting some corn. Now we're done with this field. We're also going to be planting some beets, and our choices for the crops and everything has to do with, well, part of this challenge for the series, which is we want to grow a smallish farm, keep it kind of small school. Although we are growing a little bit here, to have basically grow all the crops that we ourselves to make and feed our animals, to make the food to feed our animals. And that includes those 3 animals we're going to be focusing on is sheep, cows, and pigs. We already have sheep and cows. We already are growing enough grass to take care of the sheep and cows. So what's left is pigs. We're not going to get the pigs yet because we don't have the food. So that's gonna be the focus of this. So we're gonna have to get these fields planted, get them ready, get them growing, because we need to get the crops into the ground so we can grow it. So come next, after harvest season, probably next year, I don't know, we'll have to see. We will have enough crops to start making pig food and then be able to get some pigs. All right, so with all of that, let's continue on with getting this field planted and the next one. And if you've been enjoying this video and this series, be sure and hit that like button. Also, if you're still on FS22, let me know down in the comments. And if you have not checked this map out yet, I do have a link for it down in the description. Go check it out, download it, play it, and be sure and give it a good rating because this map is absolutely amazing. I honestly cannot wait till it comes to FS25 because that is going to be so awesome. All right, that is the last of the planting. We got both our red beets in and our corn in, which will be used to make that pig food, along with some other crops that we don't have planted yet, but want to start stockpiling. All right, now, so next step we're going to do is we're going to grab our slurry tanker and head out there and make sure that the fields are fully fertilized because we want to maximize the yield on our crops because, well, we need to have enough to make sure we can grow. We can get this on the right side of the barn to grow those crops to the maximum yield and have enough for our, to feed the pigs, because that's what we're after right now is feeding the pigs. And we are all done with putting the slurry down. Fields are fully fertilized, so let's back up here to the farmyard and get this parked, and then we're going to move on to the last part of April. We are here in day 3 of April, and we're going to first drop off the planter because we're going to take the JCB, which is our fastest tractor, get all of our wool, and not go that way because we have our new pass through now through the field, which makes it a whole lot faster to get down to the road. But anyways, we're going to take the wool, take it down to the sell point, get it sold, and we're going to come back out to the farm, get our silage bales, get those loaded up, and get those sold as well because, hey, it's best sell time right now, and we need that money because we want to buy a couple more fields. All right, we've made several trips and we have got enough money to buy the first field. So let's head down here, pick up this field. And I want to get it now before we head down for our next load because I want to hop on the fence and get a worker started on mowing that grass once we top off the fuel tank. So let's get this set up on a course plate with a worker, get them mowing, and then we'll get all of those grass build up into silage bales so that we can make some more money to buy our next field. Grabbing another load of silage bales here, but as we head down here, we actually have enough to get our last filters. Let's go ahead and purchase that to get us back down to that 28,000. We've been kind of starting there and then going up and then coming back down to it, and here we are again, back down to it, but not for long because we got some more bales to sell. But the big thing here is we now have all of the farmlands that we're probably going to need. We might get another field down the road, but I think we're good now for fields. So pretty much everything now is just going to be for profit and making some money because we're going to need it because we have to build a pig pen and we have to get, a pig food production in. So we're going to need the money. All right, we're going to turn this over here to a worker and let them finish getting the rest of the grass built up, because we are all done with the mowing on this field. So let's head this back over to the farmyard, get it parked, and then we're going to make sure all the animals are fed and then get all of those bales picked up from our grass field. Howdy, and welcome back here for episode 10 on Vlashich, Bosnia, as we are continuing our series here on this most amazing map by mowing the second field we purchased in the last episode. If you remember, in the last episode, we bought 2 fields. We mowed up the other field, got it all baled up and everything like that, and now we're starting on this field. And on top of that, we're going to head back over to the farm here and grab the case and do some rolling out here on the other field that we mowed in the last episode. However, because it rained, if you remember, a lot in the last episode there, this ground is too moist, and yeah, I said moist. And the ground is too wet and it's going to damage our equipment, so we're going to hold off on for that for now and take care of feeding our animals and making sure our sheep have the food that they need, our cows have the food they need, and then we'll go back to working on those fields. And the plan we have for those fields is we're going to be planting crops to get ready for making pig food so we can get some pigs, because that's the last objective we have for the series. Is we have cows, we have sheep, we have enough food. Well, we're growing enough food to feed those animals. The last hurdle is we need food for the pigs that we grow ourselves and get said pigs so that we can feed them with the food that we're going to grow. So that's our last hurdle on that. So those 2 fields are going to be key components in that. So let's get these animals taken care of, and then we'll get back to doing some more field work. Now I am just primarily focusing on belling up the headlands so that I can place those bales so they won't be in the way of the other worker. And now we're going to turn this over to a worker, let them do the up and downs, and we're going to head back over and see if we can grab the case here from the roller and go pick up those bales, because they're now in the way of the other worker who is belling up the rest of that grass. Now in other news, I don't know if you saw this. I mean, this is probably going to be a week old news at this point, so I'm sure you've already heard it. I mean, the map might already be out, but Celobuki has submitted Alma to Giants, so now it's just the wait game. And like I said, by the time this video comes out, it may already be out, because that is a highly anticipated map, and Giants has been prioritizing, at least it seems like Giants has been prioritizing maps over other mods, which I'm fine with that. I want more maps, especially ones like Alma. But I'm actually excited about it more than just that, hey, we're gonna have Alma and I'm gonna be doing a series on that. Cannot wait for it. But also that means unless it's changed, I believe the next map up for Celobuki is going to be this one here, and that's what I'm really excited about, because in my opinion this map is Celobuki's best map, and I think in my opinion it was in the top 5 if not the best map in FS22. It's just so well done, so amazing, and you can tell that this was a project of love because it is amazing. But anyways, we're going to do the grass rolling. As you can see, we've been doing that here. Even though it's wet and it's damaging it, I don't care, we'll pay to fix it, because I want to get this field prepped so that we can put in our pig pen. Even though it's not we're not gonna be able to get the pigs till we have the food, it's still worth putting it in now, because we're gonna be planting crops in that field. But I want to get the shape of the field figured out, because the pig pen's gonna go over there in the corner of that field. I want to get that all figured out now before we plant the crops. So that's gonna be a big project for this episode, is getting our pig pen in and getting that field laid out. All right, with all the field work being done here, we're going to do our construction now and get our pig pen built. And the plan I have for it, because there's several places to put it, but I think the best place to put it is on this field here at the top corner here. That's kind of where I'm leaning on. And so I think that's where we're going to go with it. Now it's just a matter of me picking the right one, which I will eventually do at some point here. But anyways, we're going to get started on this, get it built out. We're going to have to do a bunch of landscaping. I do mean a bunch because it is a slope. There's a bit of a slope here. It's kind of a deceptively pretty steep slope. So we're definitely going to have to do some landscaping on this. But in the meantime, let's just get this built out here, and then we will come back and do the final touches and fixes, because I'm sure I'm going to mess up here along the way at some point. Alrighty, so I did make an oof or oopsie on the farm build here, and yeah, we're gonna have to get a little plow here and plow up the little section there because I accidentally put some grass down. Then I make it matters worse instead of just letting the field work do it. I try to remove it, which then turns it into a non-filled area. So we're gonna have to basically plow up this little section here, and I went with the small cheap one because we don't plan on keeping this plow. I just went with cheap. So yeah, there we go, we're done. Now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna be doing some planting, and I think the crop we're gonna go with here is gonna be a sorghum. So let's get our planter hooked up and get our sorghum into the ground. All right, we are pretty much all done here with this field, so we're gonna hop out of the tractor and go check out this pig pen, and it's very well done. I kind of like it, so looking forward to doing a little quick walkthrough of it as we get ready to wrap up this episode. Howdy, and welcome back here to episode 11. And we are here on Vlashich, Bosnia, to continue our series. If you remember in the last video, we had finished building the pig pen. So we now have all the animal pens. We already have our sheep and our cows, and we got them taken care of. We're making plenty of food for them, more than plenty actually. And next up is we need to get the food, well, all the crops to make the food for the pigs. So in this episode, we're going to be planting some more crops. We're also going to have to be doing some weeding, and we're also going to be picking up all of our bells and getting those put away so they can ferment, so that we can sell them to make more money, because we're going to need to buy a weeder. So let's crank up the music and do some farming. All right, we did not get all the weeding done before it started raining, but we're going to keep on going. Even though this rain is damaging the hoe, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep using the hoe. Yes, and I said all of that with a straight face. And speaking of enjoyable things, if you have been enjoying this video, be sure and hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. We have jumped forward a couple of months to the month of June, and that field that we had planted is now growing. But in addition to the crops, we also have weeds growing. So we're going to work our going here with our hoe and get all of them weeds killed. And in addition to that, we also have all of those bells have now fermented. So we're going to go sell all of that silage and make some bank, because we need it, because we just spent $5,000 repairing the hoe that we damaged in the rainstorm. Yes, I know. But let's get all the bells sold and see how much money we can make. Howdy, and welcome back here for episode 12. We are moving along, and in this episode here, we have a lot we want to get done. I do want to sell the wool. We're gonna need that money, and yes, you're looking at 320,000, going like, what the heck are you talking about? Well, we have a almost $250,000 loan we want to pay off. Plus, I want to get a forage wagon, and we're gonna do some mowing, and well, some other things as well. Now, the reason I want to get a forage wagon is we do have a baler. We're using that for making silage bales, but our sheep need grass, or hay. We're gonna do grass. So the forage wagon is for basically collecting a bunch of grass we could put in the silo and use that for feeding our sheep, and then the silage bales are gonna be for feeding the cows. So let's head down to the store, pick up a forage wagon, crank up the music, and get some farming done. while the workers are chugging away and we're going to refill our gas there, we just checked and we do have quite a bit of milk, well, about $33,000 worth. And yes, it is not peak price, but we're going to go ahead and sell it now, get a little bit of a cash infusion, because in farming, well, it's good to have cash on hand because cash is king. That's what the saying says. I think so. But we're going to take this over, enjoy the beautiful scenic drive for this map. It is absolutely stunning, and get this milk sold. So we're going to take these bales over here to what I've been calling our sell shed, because everything that goes in here, apart from the grass bales, we're going to sell. And once those grass bales are gone, then it will be everything that goes in there, because that's basically our surplus. We do have another shed for all of our silage bales that we keep for feeding our cows, as well as our straw bales. And speaking of all of that, after we get the worker going here with rolling the grass fields up, because it gives us an extra harvest of grass every year, and that's big money. We're going to do a quick little farm build here, put in a distributor for distributing the silage and straw to our cow shed, because we have an amazing mod that does that. And while we're doing that, I wanted to give our little official plug here and say, if you've been enjoying this video and this series, be sure and hit that like button. Also, leave a comment. Let me know what you've been thinking so far, and if you love this map as much as I do. Howdy, and welcome back here. We are in the last part of July here on episode 13, and you probably noticed right off the bat, we have a different forage wagon. Well, I had to swap it out because the one we had for some reason was not compatible with our silo. I don't know why, but we swapped it out. So now we're going to take the grass, move it over to our distributor, so that way it will automatically distribute the grass to our sheep. And I did do some playing around with stuff, so it will distribute only to the street, and the silage will automatically distribute only to the cows. So yes, it's all gonna work. I love it. I love it. And a couple other cleanup things around the yard I want to do is we're going to take all the grass bales out of what we've been calling our sale shed and take them over to the other shed, because I want everything to be in this shed exclusively for what we're going to sell. Now let's talk about what the priority of this episode is going to be, and that is going to be harvest, because we are going to be moving on to August here and going into harvest season, and we have a lot of fields to harvest, which means we are getting really close to being able to make pig food and get some pigs. Now, before we can do any harvesting, we need a harvester, and we don't have one. So we are going to go ahead into the town here, into the store, and pick up a harvester. We're not going to buy one. We're going to lease it, just because we don't have the money to buy right now, and I don't want to take out loans. So we're going to lease them. We're actually going to have to get a couple of harvesters. We're going to have to get one for our grain crops. We also have corn, so we have to get a corn header eventually as well. In addition to that, we also are going to need to get a beet harvester, because one of our fields for our root crops for making the pig food is we're going to need to harvest those beets. Additionally, we also are picking up a trailer because we're going to need something to haul all of those grains and beets around. So yeah, it's kind of a necessity. But we're going to head back to the farm here, and I also wanted to mention real quick, if you have been enjoying this video and this series, be sure and hit that like button and also subscribe so you get notified of future videos. And we are now in the month of September, which means it's time to harvest some red beets as well as plant, because we got plant, so we have food for next year for the pigs. We're gonna start off here with hiring a worker to lime the field, get it all ready, and then we're gonna head into town and lease another harvester for harvesting those red beets. So we all know red beets is a very high yield crop, and that was kind of the reason I went with a small field for doing the red beets. But even then, this is an absurd amount of red beets. We're gonna have way more than we need, which is good because we're gonna take it and make some money. We'll sell our surplus and make some money off of it, and after we make sure and positive we have more than enough to feed our cows. But let's continue on with getting the rest of this field harvested, and take the win. Hello and welcome back here for episode 14, which will be the final episode in this series. And this one will be a little bit longer than the typical episodes because we have a lot to get done here to wrap up this series. A couple of things we're going to be doing is selling the silage belts because we need to pay off our leases. We have some leased equipment and we've already paid off the loan, but we have not paid off or bought all the leased equipment yet. So we need to take care of that. In addition, we also need to harvest a couple of fields so we can start making pig food and hit that final checkbox for this series of getting pigs. So we have a lot to get done. We're going to move through a couple of months, and I hope you enjoy this video. We've been working on this series for quite a long time, and it's kind of exciting and also kind of sad to be wrapping it up here. So let me know down in the comments what has been your favorite part of the series, and if you have any ideas for what our next map will be. Now that we have a worker getting slurry down this field here, we're going to do a little side project here. We're going to put into production for making pig food because it's kind of a complex mix. So we're going to put that in here and do some other building stuff throughout this episode as well. This is an important step here because we're getting really close to having all of the crops we need to make the pig food and get our pigs. So we have been adding some equipment to the farm. We've kind of run into a little issue here where we have more equipment than we have places to put said equipment. So we're going to put in another shed here. So this episode, besides doing all of our other stuff, we're going to be spending a lot of money. I kind of like it. I like farm builds. So let's get our shed in here, and then we'll probably have to put another shed in later as well. But that will come later in the episode. I had a thought here. We put in this buying station here so that we could go ahead and buy some pig food now, spend some money, get it so that we can get our pigs. It's got me thinking like, well, actually it's gonna, even after we get all the crops harvested, it's gonna take a little bit to make the pig food. So yeah, we're just do this now. We'll continue on though, getting the crops and start making her, because we still have to make the pig food. So that is still one of the items we have for this series. But we're gonna get our pigs now, get a little bit of everything here, and check out the cute little piggies. And yeah, we got pigs. Well, we've been spending money. We're going to spend some more here. We're going to buy some of our leased equipment, at least what we can afford to buy now, because that is also one of our objectives, is we want to purchase all of the leased equipment before this series ends. It is now October, which means we have some crops to harvest, including corn, which means we're going to need to get a corn header. So we're going to do some more mowing as well, and you're probably asking like, well, this series is almost over, why are you doing mowing? And well, so the whole reason is one, we make sure we have plenty of food. In addition to that, if you may recall in previous episodes, I had stated that in the description there is a link to the final game save for this series, as well as the final mod list. And so part of that is I'm kind of set up to where you can pick this up right where the series ends and continue on with farming, and kind of wanted to set it up so that you'd be good to go. Now, in addition to all of that, I got overly ambitious on the corn header for this harvester. It is way too big. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have this harvester focus on harvesting the other field, and then we're going to lease another harvester and another corn header. And I think eventually the plan will be we'll probably get rid of this harvester because I'm going to go for a bigger one, because we've grown a lot, so it's time to get a bigger harvester. So the soybeans are taking a very, very long time because it actually is a pretty good size field and we have a small header on an older harvester. So we're gonna get another header for our big, beautiful new harvester here so that we can bust through this field much quicker. Yeah, so this harvester, much bigger, much faster, much better. So we're gonna go ahead and we're all done. So we're gonna go ahead and empty out this harvester here, and then we're going to return them because we don't need them anymore because we have a big, new, beautiful harvester and it does everything so much better, faster. But, you know, to give credits to the old one, it was what we could afford at the time and it did its job, but, you know, we've grown. So let's get this unloaded here, and that actually will give us all of the crops we need for making our own pig food, which is amazing to see. So now that we have our new harvester, we have created another problem, and that is we're gonna need another shed to park this header in, because if you've used these ones, these type of headers with these transport trailers that have the I don't know what type of hitch that is, the swivel thingy, you need to pull through shed. So we're gonna put down a pull through shed here so we can park this header, and the next step is we're gonna now replant the field we just harvested with the durum wheat, because we are going to be needing some more straw at some point for our cows. And again, we won't be harvesting this one, but I'm just kind of setting this game save up so that if you want to continue on playing it, you are set up to to succeed. we collect these bells and wrap up this series, I wanted to give a huge thank you to everyone who has watched this series all the way from the beginning to end, and I really hope you enjoyed it, and also that you discover a new map, because this map, it is absolutely breathtaking. It's amazing, and I think it's honestly one of Celobuki's best works that he's done on map making. I know this one had like a lot of personal input from him, being from Bosnia, and I just want to say I really appreciate all the time and effort that Celobuki spent in making this map. You can tell it is it's a passion project. You can just tell the level of detail and the scenic views. Well, until next time in our next series, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to catch you in the next video.